You have existing save data that is not currently attached to a profile. Would you like to combine it into one profile? This may take a few minutes. Sure. I hate my life. Alright, there we go. Hello guys, what's going on? My name is Fighter111. Welcome back to another episode of Not For Broadcast, episode 5. Now in the last episode we returned back to Not For Broadcast. It was pretty cool. So in this episode we are going to be starting again. Now I got the last picked up. I was going on my old video just to see where I ended up. And apparently my profiles were legacy now, apparently. And I had to combine them to I hate my life. See, combine legacy profiles. These were my legacy profiles apparently. I had one way ago. Fuck the government. I don't even know how I said that. Okay, yeah. So let's just go ahead and play. I guess it'll. Maybe which one was the one that I did last? Okay, it was this one. This was mine. So. Wait, so did I not upload the other one? I could have sworn I had multiple games. This was, bro, what the heck did I do? Okay, apparently it was day 15 of late night where I picked up off. Okay. I didn't even upload this video. What the heck? Okay. I guess I never uploaded this video. I am so stupid. This was in frickin' January. Or February, sorry. So this was, this was 258. This is exactly where it says that I ended it off. Wow, okay. So, I guess we are starting there. Would you like to continue with this checkpoint? I would like to create a new certificate from this checkpoint. I kind of want to create a new game. Let's create a new game. We'll call it, testing the damn thing. Okay, I can't. Alright, sorry guys. Apparently I never uploaded that video, but you guys will probably see it after or before this one. Jeez, man, I am so inactive. A rude awakening. The rhythmic beeping of the heart monitor brings you slowly back to consciousness. Opening your eyes, you are greeted by a semicircle of concerned faces. Your family by your side, a reassuring familiar sight in these new surroundings. You blink a few times to clear the sleep from your eyes and bring everyone into focus. You feel a hand on yours, gentle but reassuring. Sam, there with you always. Their expression, understandably concerned, is somehow more affectionate than ever. Chris chimes in from beside them. See, Alex is fine. We missed the game for nothing. You and Chris still aren't on great terms, and it's hard to miss the tone of disdain in their voice. You remind yourself that this isn't about Chris and squeeze Sam's hand, smiling at them. Really? I'm not awake 5 minutes and you're already being a dick? The worry lines on Sam's forehead fade a bit. Lord knows you've both had enough to be anxious about without your health being thrown into the mix. With a smile finally at them, you return to the rest of your family. Just as you feel Susie's absence, you notice Charlie fidgeting, clearly trying not to look worried. As soon as you turn to him, you can see Charlie's tense up, his concern clear in his face. So, you're definitely good, right? He finally asked, quickly looking away. Of course I am, buddy. There's nothing to worry about. Charlie looks at you and grins, one of those infectious smiles that spreads around the room. It's always good to have him in your corner. Your smile fades as you notice your mother, staring listlessly out the window. Despite all your best efforts, she's not been doing well lately. Are you okay, Mum? Your mother starts your call, clearly shocking her out of her reverie. She turns to you and smiles, and you're grateful to see the increasingly rare recognition in her eyes. Yes, dear, of course. How are you feeling? You smile warmly and nod, but before you can respond, a doctor bustles in and ushers everyone out. She asks you out, for what feels like the 100th time, how you're feeling. Surprisingly well, all things considered. Excellent. There's no sign of any real damage, just a bit of a shock to the old system. Pardon the pun, she smiles. Not that we'd recommend you to do anything like that again, of course. After a couple days rest at home, you should feel right as rain. She turns to leave, but stops at the door. Oh, and the private room in care, the doctor gestures to your room, which you now notice looks rather expensive, has all been paid about by Mr. Bozeman. Oh, he left those flowers and said not to worry and take the rest of the week off. He'll see you Monday, apparently. Seems like the least he could do. Damn, man, we got a good boss. My boss would be like, Why ain't you at work? No, I'm joking. He's pretty cool. All right, day 180. A burden to bear. Pardon the pun, I suppose. You come home from a particularly late shift to find the kitchen light still on, which isn't normally a good sign. Everyone's usually in bed by now. Softly opening the kitchen door, you find Sam sat at the table, bills and papers strewn in front of him, as well as what looks to be their second pack of biscuits. They give you a quick kiss as you take the seat next to them. Sam frowns and goes back to the bill they're holding. Hey, sweetheart, are you looking at the numbers again? They look to the door to the pantry, now coveting your mother's bedroom. We've been doing our best, but I think Cassandra really needs a nurse to look after her now. Suddenly the bills are all you can see. Fortunately, with the money that's been coming in and what we've been able to save, we've got more than enough to keep going. With Susie's home to help out, the nurse would only need to be part-time anyway. Sam smiles at you. Yeah, I'm well off. I ain't worried about no bills. I know things have been difficult, but the daily care won't be cheap. But it says it's your mother. We don't have to, really, don't we? You gracefully smile back. Of course you'll pay for the care your mother needs. Your mother hasn't been herself for a long while. Maybe it's time to consider the other option? Damn, the other option. You know what that is, right? Sure, I'll pay for it. The sword of Democles seethed. At least for a moment, you grab the papers and stuff them into a drawer. It's such a relief to not have to worry about it anymore, or so you told Sam. Hours later, you're still awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking, how long will the money last? Well, it would last a lot, and if you let me frickin' work instead of giving it to some AI for like 100 days. He always screws things up whenever I don't take control, so I need to take control in order to save him from himself. Sam's out of work tonight and Charlie's staying at a friend's. The house is yours. You order a takeaway, have a couple drinks, and decide to relax in front of the TV. Not a great selection tonight, but surely something to watch. You feel like a laugh comedy as is. Sam's not here, but you could still watch a horror movie without her. You just want to switch off. Action thriller is the one. Sam isn't a fan of historical dramas, so maybe you make the most of him being away. Alright. Genghis Khan wasn't ever really something you were interested in, but the drama's not half bad. You learn a few things. The fact that his real name was Temujin. Who knew? When it's over, you flick through channels of something else to watch a glint under the coffee table distracts you. You reach down to receive the mysterious device, remembering Sam's note as you do. Hey, sweetheart. Charlie lost Susie's present. Would you mind looking for it tonight? As you hold it closer, you're surprised to find the gift is actually an engraved lighter for Chippy. She claims the nickname's affectionate, but Charlie still scowls every time she says it. You're not sure Sam would approve. The accompanying note from Susie explains, Irikstan has a long tradition of glorifying the art staring fires. Thought you'd like it. Don't you do something stupid, Suze. Hopefully it's just a souvenir, not a new pastime he's picked up, or about to pick up. It's nice that she thought of him. Alrighty. Come on, give me control. I wanna work. Because you can't do it yourself. Yes, thank you. Your wealth is affected by your choices at home and at work. Well, I didn't make any choices to affect my wealth when I was there. What the heck do you mean? Joking about me? Kidding me? I was like, oh, maybe at work. Yeah, that's probably better. Will this game load? Come on, you're on an SSD. You're on a Samsung SSD. Hurry up. Day 232, the silence. Yes. All right, everything coming up. I gotta turn that on. Fan, all
Sorry,
that
I'm
crap.
sorry, I haven't had any food today.
Oh,
Yes.
You're fired.
What?
You're fired.
What for? Facial sabotage?
Jenny, problem? I want her fired today, now.
Don't worry, Kath, it'll be all right.
No, it won't be all right, Kath. Pack up your weapons of optical destruction and get out.
You realise you're beginning to sound like me?
I mean it, Kath.
It doesn't matter.
Stay where
Must
you
be
are.
played. Okay.
Jenny,
Fine.
this
Wait,
is
I
not
have to
Jenny's decision,
do it at the
Jeremy,
second,
or yours.
obviously. Responsibility,
Oh,
sports
good.
board.
Casserole dish
Oh,
should
that
have dinner
broke.
next week.
Dang it. Okay, I have to. That's broken.
Jenny,
I probably have to load this up next time, so I'm gonna see if I can.
Sorry, Kath,
push
you're gonna
it
have to
up there.
leave.
Yeah, leave, but you're not getting fired. Jeremy Donaldson was
Letting it
like,
go to
no,
your head.
that ain't
she
work.
nearly blinded
10
me.
seconds,
I thought we were
everybody.
all part of a team these days.
Things are better, Jeremy, you know that. Just stop being so high and mighty and do your job.
You'll have me fired too.
Don't tempt me.
Yeah.
Good evening. I'm Megan Wolfe.
And I'm Jeremy Dawson. Our main headlines tonight.
The establishment strikes back. The World Council has agreed today to impose punitive sanctions on the people of this country.
The sanctions, which are broad-ranging,
Sure.
include restrictions on the supply of oil and gas, food, clothing, and even some medicines. But how should we react? We asked the public.
So how do you feel about the sanctions?
I actually think that with advance in charge we'll be fine. Of course the rest of the world will want us to fail, or it'll be their billionaires next. But I trust Julia and Peter.
Thanks, Patrick. Fascinating stuff.
Popular Prime
When was
Minister
that?
Julia Salisbury has released a reassuringly brave statement in response to the World Council's controversial announcement.
This international declaration is nothing short of outrageous. We are a democratically elected government with massive popular
Wait,
support.
so do I just keep it away
We
from?
do
Oh
not
no,
recognise these sanctions.
that's bad. Oh no, no,
And we
no, no, no,
encourage
no.
other
What do I
social
do?
organisations of the world to
How do I
vote
move
for
this up, bro?
and ignore them.
What?
Advance have struck fear.
This is that was a bro. What the hell? Nobody ever told me how to do that shit. You let too much interference out, and the audience switched off. Well, what am I supposed to do about that? I know. Shut up. You're like a.
We are a democratically
Gotta go up
elected
like
government
this.
with massive
Away from.
popular
Oh,
support.
go away. No, 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 no. How do you do that? What the heck? How do I? There's no way to. Bro. Oh, I have to stay within this.
Into the heart of the
What? Dude! What the fuck am I supposed to do?
nothing short of
So I think I gotta keep it
outrageous.
within the yeller or the
We
white.
are
So
a
I gotta keep it
democratically
up.
elected government with massive
And then go.
popular
No wait, no,
support.
up. Oh, okay, I
We do
got
not
you.
recognise these sanctions. And we encourage other
Here we go.
socially progressive nations
Sweet.
of the world to both resist
Oh no, no,
and
no,
ignore them.
no! I gotta stay within the white. Gotta stay within the
Advance
white.
have struck
I
fear
see it. I
into
see
the
it, how
heart
it
of the
gonna work.
international
All right. Oh
community
no, I gotta go down.
by showing that it is possible to have radical change for the betterment of the many. And whilst I wish we could improve other countries as much as we have our own, we do not rely on the help of others to thrive. This country is entirely self-sufficient.
Bro, no,
We
don't
are
do
a
that. Don't do
team.
that. Don't do that.
Now more than ever.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
did it.
Defiant
Nah.
stuff. But what do you, the public, think of our government's stance? Robin Short found
The
out.
government, we gotta do it.
Hi there, I was wondering if you could spend a moment to give us your thoughts on the government.
Honestly, I think they're doing a great job. I know the assets and world checks have made the difference, plus for the cost of the little one. And people seem, happier in the main. I always said things would get better with a woman in charge.
Over to you, fellas. Global mega corporation Remington's Fist today announced that trials have successfully completed on their groundbreaking male contraceptive product.
What?
Responsibility.
The drug has been passed by the government for general release, but the small print warns that, in rare cases, side effects can include blurred vision.
I don't think
enlarged
we like
genitalia,
Remington
and increased
Smith,
risk
so
of
I'm gonna
stroke.
do
No
bad.
double entendre intended.
But what do you, the public, think of Sophia Remington's latest venture? Patrick?
Would you take the male contraceptive pill?
No, mate. Her body, her baby, her problem.
How progressive of you.
What'd you say?
Nothing. How progressive of you.
The delicate sound of thunder. A frightening start for the commuters this morning, who were confronted by a somewhat sinister sight as they left their trains.
Many travellers reported feeling intimidated by the silent figures who stood motionless outside every major station in the capital. Radical extremist group Disrupt, who organised the show of strength, refused to comment on the meaning of the strange protest.
Okay,
Or to
I'm gonna
apologise to
take
this
bad.
presenter for making him drop his morning
If it's a
bacon.
protest against the government,
But how
we're
do
trying
we
to
feel
be
about
with the
these somewhat
government. so-
radical extremists and their upsetting methods? Robin found out.
Can I ask your opinions on Disrupt?
Are those the guys
Same
in black
lady
with the
again.
orange fist thing?
That's right.
Can I be honest?
Of course. This is journalism.
They scare me a bit.
Feast or famine. Resourceful doctors David Wong and Ingrid Swansborg and Horgensborg today announced their first successful harvest in Dante's taint. Although they can
Dante's
currently
taint.
only grow a few
What
fungal
the
strains,
fuck?
the scientists seem to be staying positive as the following picture shows.
The undauntable scientists chose to try and survive in the cave system while the complex rescue operation inches forward up here on dry land.
Let's hope they like stroganoff.
All right.
But with Advance planning to spend an eye-watering amount of public money on the rescue craft, we asked Patrick Bannon to find out what we should all be thinking about the accelerating costs.
What are your thoughts on the costs of the rescue?
Oh my God, Patrick Bannon, wash your mouth out with soap. You can't put a value on human life. You have to spend whatever it takes because one day you might be trapped in an underwater cave system and you would want exactly the same.
I don't think so,
Why
actually,
would you
for legal reasons.
even have a handheld
31 yards
microphone
of the
if you're
coastline.
wearing labs? Doesn't make any sense.
I am not a number. Applications finally opened today for the new Advanced Team membership cards, a scheme by the government to allow fast access to all the new public services being introduced daily.
The team membership cards are entirely voluntary, but will be recognised as legal identification by all major organisations, including the police, banks,
That
and
seems
most
kind of
public
communistic.
bars.
I'm gonna be honest with you,
And
Chief.
of course,
But
there's no charge, Jeremy.
I can't change my
Well,
opinion
we've always
now
been-
because we already
But most
started
importantly, what should you, the public,
we
think
say
about the new
June,
team
yes.
membership cards?
Team membership cards.
Oh yeah, fantastic. I'm applying today. I mean, why wouldn't you? What are these protesters doing? They don't want us to know who their names are. Besides, have you seen the savings you can get? I'm getting one for the little one as well.
Oh, how adorable.
Yeah, gonna be a proper little team member, aren't you? Yes, he smiled. He smiles.
And finally tonight, back of the net, popular sports personality Johnny Hamsleeves and his fiancée
Johnny
Tiffany
Hamsleeves,
Lamore
all right,
was
bro.
spotted out today doing a little shopping for what many are already calling the greatest wedding ever.
We can only assume that Tiffany's latest show, My Teenage Secretions, has sold better than expected, as by the looks of things, the whole affair
I'm
has
kind
become
of
more
indifferent
expensive than
about
Little
that, I'll be
C's shoe
honest.
collection.
I don't know who that is.
But what should your opinion be of this extravagant display of wealth?
Don't really care, love.
Wise words there.
Nice words
Later
there.
tonight, in a bit of a switcheroo, it'll be Jeremy in the culture chair, spitting rhymes with popular rapper Jay Zus. And then we'll both be
Hey.
chatting with a familiar team of thespians set to take the nation by storm again.
That's all coming up on tonight.
National
Nightly News.
Oh no, this crap again. Dang interference! I hate you! Hey, it's better.
First tonight, thankfully, some news as we return to our main story.
The World Council today agreed that punitive and
Wasn't
potentially
changing the
illegal
cameras, bro.
sanctions should be imposed upon this country. The sanctions, which come into effect immediately, aim to stop the flow of food, fuel, and even some medicines from reaching your pockets.
Tonight, we have guests from across the continent to discuss this unprecedented situation. For Advance, Peter Clement is at his home in Lamfordshire. Are you there, Peter?
Yes, I can hear you, Jeremy. Thank you for having me.
A momentous day, Prime Minister. Are you shaken?
Oh, I don't scare that easy, I'm afraid, old son. And neither do the people of this country.
Well, joining us is Ivan Vodovich, Foreign Minister of Urkistan. Ivan, thank you for being here.
Great pleasure. You, Megan Wolf, are like strongest guard of labour camp who wake up inside body of crazy, expensive prostitutes. In my country, you will be worshipped as a god.
Okay. Minister, as one of those arguing most strongly for these sanctions, how do you feel about Advance's defiant stance?
Advance is like man who think he have big career in movies land, when actually he in dirty sanitarium, screaming at mirror and holding tiny penis in hand.
He's clearly not from Svenland, then. We have like some of the cleanest mental health facilities in the continent, yeah.
And welcome to Svenland's Minister of Mojo, Björk. I'm sorry, we don't appear to have your surname.
It's just Björk, yeah. We don't use things like socially divisive surnames here, yeah.
Minister?
It's just Björk, yeah.
Right, Björk. Your country spoke in favour of Advance at the World Council today, but you were noticeably absent when it came to the actual vote.
Well, what a surprise. The hippies didn't show up for the fight.
Actually, that's quite racist, because if you must know, we were going to go to the whole like boat thing, yeah. But it's actually the festival of Furelands here at the moment, where we honor the old generations. So like we all had to work our grandparents' Gleania whilst the boat was happening, and that's like a really, really time-consuming process, actually.
You're like a sissy man. You have this expression, sissy man, is like man with tiny penis who like to wash more than once a week.
Actually, that's quite homophobic, yeah,
Oh,
because...
stop winding him up, Ivan. We're not back at the Grange now. Sorry, Jeremy. Ivan and I used to play golf back in my media days.
Yeah, he always wins.
Nothing gives him greater pleasure than grinding people's gears. The more publicly, the better.
Peter, you're like man with tiny penis who think he have tiny penis, but actually he discovered that. Oh, could it be? No, it's tiny penis.
Ivan's just worried that when the rest of the world sees how well we're doing, they'll notice all that dosh that he's got squirreled away. Because that's what these sanctions are, Megan. They're the last pathetic gasp of an establishment in collapse. Wolves shut the gates, Ivan, old mate.
Good. You can join others on my wall.
Actually, in Svenland, we have like serious animal welfare legislation. And like my friend Helge, she got arrested for killing a butterfly that was hovering over her fuel tank. I mean, in English, jam sandwich.
I used to know a girl called Jan Sandwich. She was right cracker. What became of her?
We seem to be wandering a little from the news here.
Human interest, Jeremy, the real people behind the headlines and all that. So if you're watching, Jan, give us a call. Yeah, let's see if we can't organise a reunion.
Christ, I'm not sure about that. I'll have to run it past Mrs. Clement first, eh?
Peter, you're like man trying to empty ashes of mistresses into oncoming vent. Soon you have tiny penis and beard full of secrets.
In Svenland, we don't really go in for all that restrictive monogamy stuff here. We're kind of fluid, actually.
Okay, well, it seems that we are running out of time.
Yes, so before we go to the break, briefly, if you would, gentlemen, with the people of this country facing shortages and power
possible shortages and power outages.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Possible shortages and power outages. Can you summarise your thoughts for us, Minister Bierk?
Well, from here, yeah, you all look a bit stupid really arguing about outdated devices concepts like money. In Finland, we replaced currency with a system of bodily fluids back in the 1970s, and that's like really hard to sanction, actually.
Thank you, Minister Votovic.
Your country is like man who think he invented perfect trap for giant Newton hairy bear. But really, he just standing in field
holding his tiny penis, yes. Thank you, Minister. And finally, Prime Minister Clement.
Let me talk to your viewers here, Jeremy. Don't worry, everybody. Don't be afraid. Don't even lose a wink of sleep. We knew the rest of the world would react this way, and we're ready. As my old man used to say, you can't make a shite pie without blocking a few toilets.
Thank you, Prime Minister.
Reassuring words there.
We'll be back.
After these messages.
We'll be back.
1 minute back.
Hey, Peter, I over your way this weekend. You fancy a quick nine?
Yeah, sure, front or back.
That's what I hope you're asking Megan Wolf for me.
She's out of your league, mate.
Thank you for the correction.
Well, you have to be more careful.
It's all part of his long-term plan to get fired live on the news at 6 in front of the nation.
Can someone warn him it's going a little too well?
Really? He was there. I don't know about the news without Jeremy Donaldson.
This is important. New government censorship should show up in blue. Same as regular censoring.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for the advanced blue waveform.
All right, cool. I gotta censor stuff for the government now? Alright, cool. So apparently this VHS player, I'm gonna have to put another one in here.
Are you still meant to bow on royalty?
What?
Should I just like curtsy?
I don't know who it's starting on.
Have they given you the Crown Prince report?
Well,
Megan.
This is Jeremy, and he'll be interviewing you.
Yo, thanks for having me on your show, man.
It's quite alright.
It's quite alright.
Just a quick one. You're not going to ask me about the chimp, are you?
Live in 10 seconds.
It's probably opening on Wolf.
Because children shouldn't be by accident. Let's face it.
Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I'm Megan Wolf. Later, we have an exclusive first look at a theatrical sensation everyone's going to be talking about. But first, it's time to go over to the culture spot with lovely old Jeremy Donaldson, who's joined by a very special guest. Jeremy.
Thanks, Megan. I have the honour and privilege of being joined by hip-hop royalty. He's been called the son of the streets and the father of truth. Not sure how that works, but whatever. Let's welcome Jesus!
Thanks, Jeremy. Yeah, it's a real honour to be here on this show, The News. You know, as a kid on the streets, I used to watch you through a window of the shop, so to be here right now is crazy.
You've had quite the journey to be here today. Can you tell us about it?
Well, you know, I try not to, well, you know, the past is the past, and I don't like to dwell on it.
I understand.
But yeah, man, the streets is all I remember. Like, my mother donated me to a charity shop soon after I was born. An elderly lady took pity on me. You know, she let me sleep on a pile of crime fiction until I taught myself how to walk.
Wow, that's quite the childhood.
And she died, died tragically. Right there in my arms, man. You know, I remember a tear falling as she laid there next to the used homeware. And in that moment, I became a child of the streets. I was just 18.
Damn, man.
Months old.
Oh!
What a tale. What a tale. You're known for your direct and honest lyrics. Was your style informed by your troubled past?
Oh, like I said, I try not to talk about it. It's just, it's just too hard.
Of course.
But my first album is about the story of the first 4 times I stole, so I wouldn't stop.
I knew it.
A small group of infants came to see me as their de facto leader. They call me Mr. Cheese Slice. Anyway, we were like a family.
So it would seem. Recently, you've been quite outspoken about the government.
Yeah, fuck the government. Fuck Advance. Fuck Peter Clement.
What is it that you object to so vehemently?
Well, you know, they stole from us. They're taking our money and spending it, man.
Redistributing it. Actually, homelessness has been all but eliminated in the last couple of months.
So?
Surely that's a cause close to your heart?
Yeah, nah, of course, man. Very much so. I just mean, like, why do I have to pay for it, you know?
You don't. People have been rehoused on property seized from the historically wealthy. And that couldn't have been you, could it?
Look, yeah, I worked hard to be here. I built this from nothing, and I deserve to be rewarded for that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man.
Would you say a farmer or a care worker?
I don't know. But if people are taking something from my music, choose to value it, buy it, who's to say I don't? And no one can take that away from me.
Not even to help, say, vulnerable children? Mr. Cheese Slice.
What is it you're trying to say?
I just don't understand where you've placed yourself politically. I mean, is it ideological or is it tactical?
Well, it's more of
Or
like...
maybe it's hereditary.
Stop trying to tie me in knots with your words, Jeremy. I let the music speak for itself. And the people agree with me.
Well, that remains to be seen. But you have given me a very easy segue out of a conversation that I promise you was much more painful for me than it was for you. So here he is with his hit song, Mrs. Ludlow's Tears.
Oh, no. I'm going to do something a little different. It's a new single I've been working on.
Oh, so this is unapproved, is it?
Yeah. You love it.
Excellent. Don't worry, we've got a state-of-the-art censorship system. What's the worst that could happen? So here he is with a new song. Oh, we love it. It's Jesus!
First, you're gonna pay up. You're gonna pay back.
Well, we're all different races from many different places. At any given moment, only one could be the greatest.
I love
the nation for your participation. Still 2 leaders in this motherfucking nation. Now we're getting sanctioned, talking about expansion. Why does Julius require a massive fucking mansion? So fuck all your schemes. I don't need your freaky team, and I don't need your help to achieve my fucking dreams.
What? That was perfect.
So don't make a fuss when you find you're one of us. Yeah, every single one of you's a bit Jesus. And you can call me crazy, cause no one ever pays me. But I won't waste a lifetime being motherfucking lazy. I may be inventive, my taste may be expensive, but why would I get out of bed with no fucking incentive? Although it's contravention of your obvious intention, I like to eat a little of the fruits in my invention. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. The best of the praise, of the crest of the wave, cause we're only
it ain't a bad song, honestly. I like it.
Take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. It's time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. So this is for the snubbed ones, the pushed and the shoved ones, the folks that feel the burden of their motherfucking loved ones. Ones who had plenty like a motherfucking Bentley. The ones who now find out their bank accounts are empty.
I missed a censor because I was looking at the cameras.
Who had to flee a nation. The ones who built a business out of dreams of perspiration. There's all sorts of people, the good and the evil. It only takes a glance to see we're not all equal. You make us the same, but we're not all the same. All our dreams, all our schemes, all our means are not the same. And the best of the praise, of the crest of the ways, cause we're only equal people when we're motherfucking slaves. Gonna take this fact, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Get out of your seats, get your asses in the streets, set a fire in the building.
I'm just gonna focus on the censoring.
Take your hate to go getters, you're squilling bed letters, and burn them on the barrels of advances fucking letters.
Why are you mad about this?
Gonna take his facts, gonna stain it red, gonna slam it into Peter Clemens' motherfucking head, cause he's thick as shit, he's got a job he's unfit for. Time to stone a castle with a motherfucking pitchfork. Chase that dream, you don't need a fucking team, and advances little dances aren't as harmless as it seems, cause they're stale and corrupt, then you're angry.
This is insane!
Your minds and your fists to destruct.
Jesus, okay. That was quite the interesting.
Jesus there with his new song. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I'm sorry. I may not agree with you, but I'd just like to offer you an apology. I've just been told that there was some kind of issue upstairs, and an attempt was made to censor some of your notes.
What? Are you joking?
I'd just like to say to you and everyone at home that this was a mistake.
This is absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe this.
Here at the National Nightly News, we pride ourselves on remaining neutral, unbiased, and independent of any outside interference. You have my word. We will never censor ideas. Back to you, Megan.
Well, a bit of dangerous language there, sorry about that. Well, thank you to little Jeremy Donaldson for providing
Little Jeremy Donaldson.
Coming up, we'll be speaking to a couple of familiar faces about their upcoming dramatic outing. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
And boom. Sweet.
That's the ads.
Dangerous language.
Fixing that old VCR. Open a new tape. Last ad break.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I already did that.
I'm sure.
It's already
Now,
right
if you
here.
come with me, I really do have to ask
Oh,
you to
trust
leave
me.
it.
My father's going to hear about this.
I understand. This is unbelievable, Megan.
I don't know what you're talking about, Jeremy.
I got a C, damn it. Well, that was because I messed up a lot of things, but we'll try and do better next time.
Will be coming to you by post in the next few days, and it will let you claim enough food for the week every week. Distribution centers. Everyone will get their fair share, and no one will be left behind. So you can carry on.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, stop it.
Look at him.
If we could just get you in position.
Oh, say no more. Say no more.
Megan, Jeremy, you remember Mr. Algebra?
Vividly.
Vividly.
Mr. Harris, and this is Ms. Raiden.
What?
Philippa, please.
You're back together again, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Perhaps a lower order demon.
Yes, it is awfully exciting, isn't it?
Right, okay then. We're going live in 10 seconds, opening on camera 1.
Alrighty. I like it when they actually tell me.
5, 4, 3.
Well, Welcome back. And no, you're not mistaken. Sitting across from us are some very familiar faces.
You really are too kind, Megan. It was only a yogurt commercial, but I'm still proud of it.
Here to talk about his new show, we're joined by National Treasure Tommy Harris, the National Theatre's Philippa Rayton, and National Deficit Jeff Algebra.
It's so lovely to have you all. Tommy, would you like to tell us about the show?
You know what? I'd bloody love to. It's about me. It's about my life.
And where did the idea come from?
So, right, picture this. Their legs akimbo, mid-session, sweat is pouring out of me like an immense hog. And then Cindy comes in, she says, Pete's on the phone.
That's Peter Clement, the Prime Minister.
Yeah, Pete's actually a really good mate of mine.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, no, he comes to training sometimes. He's actually a very good goal sweeper. Anyway, so, Pete, he says, Toby, he thinks my name's Toby, see? He says, how would you like to spread your message of team spirit and cooperation across this fractured nation? How would you like to really make a difference in these desperate times?
What did you say?
Yeah, right.
So, Jeff, the question on everyone's lips is, what in God's name are you doing here?
Well, after the success of my debut work and all the people that I've touched, I knew that I had a career in theatre. Yeah? I've always been an admirer of Tommy from afar. So when my manager phoned and said that I'd been offered the gig as director, I was ecstatic. I whipped my trousers off and got straight to work.
Why did you do that?
I do all my best work with my trousers.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
No, I wouldn't say so.
Oh,
Sorry,
damn!
Give us a sense of what the show is actually about.
It's about how hard it's been for me and some of the struggles that I've faced. It like really getting to the heart of how tough it is to be me. I call it Tommy Harris, Jesus, that was hard.
Catchy. We actually have some clips of the process of the show. Would you mind telling us what's going on here?
Yeah, so the show is built around two things that are very important to me. It mixes scenes from my life as well as epic fantasy retellings of scenes from my life.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
I'm sorry, son. You're an embarrassment.
But Dad, you promised you'd come to my graduation.
Back, demon! Back to the hells!
Philippa, what's it been like co-starring with Tommy Harris?
I've always dreamed of treading the boards at medium-scale regional theatres, Megan. And for once, this show really gives me something to sink my teeth into.
What's different about this show then?
Tommy, Mr. Harris's show really lets me show my tremendous range as an actor. I've always suffered from typecasting, forced to play the same tired characters in every god-awful yogurt advert or godforsaken soap opera or, God forbid, a pantomime. But, you know, this show has really let me just go there.
Jeff, the viewers at home will be dying to know exactly what is it that you bring to the show.
Good question. I think these guys would agree with me when I say that it's my steady hand on the tiller, my arm round the shoulder approach that's really brought the production from strength to strength.
Absolutely right. Jeff's contributions are immeasurable. He was our rock.
Can you give us a sneak peek of anything else that might be in the show?
Yeah, all sorts, yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of exclusive first-hand experiences of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
And some epic fantasy retellings of Tommy's time in the underground sports board scene.
You'll never take the sacred path!
And am I right in saying this was officially commissioned by the government?
Yeah, all paid for by the taxpayer, which, you know, to be honest, is actually a lifesaver. Really.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that without Advance's support, we'd have had to cut the finale.
Oh,
which frankly would have been a travesty.
Oh, God, Jesus Christ!
Goodness, and you do this every night?
Absolutely. It's a metaphor.
For what?
Death.
And the public are footing the bill, are they?
Too bloody right they are. Between the cost of my tour bus and the dry cleaning of my ties, I'm barely scraping a profit here.
Amazing. And where can the folks at home come and see this for themselves?
We're performing all over the nation.
And people can see it for absolutely free, all courtesy of Advance. Isn't that incredible, Jeremy?
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Thank you all so much for coming. Next time we see you, no doubt you'll have taken our jobs.
That's all we have time for tonight. Join us tomorrow when I'll be interviewing the world's most attractive horse. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. And from all of us here, have a peaceful night.
What are the chances are it's an actual horse?
That's the ads. Let's get reset for tomorrow, please.
Hey, we must stop bumping into each other like this, eh?
Dull and lifeless hair.
Oh.
I got an A+. I told you I was going to do better that time. Amazing. All right. I only got a C on the last, not the center one, but all right, whatever. You've received a small bonus. Current wealth, comfortable. Oh, now, things are looking up. Yeah! That's what I'm talking about. Alrighty. Advance. Whatever the heck this is down, and channel 1 loves me. Epic. Alrighty. Let's go. A ladder worth climbing. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon in summer with you and Sam making the most of both kids being out of the house. You bang your head coming out of the cupboard with the last 2 slices of homemade cake. It used to be much easier when you could store things in the pantry. It's rare for you and Sam to actually finish the sweet things in this house, and you savor every moment. Just as you take your last bite, you hear the sound of the front door slamming. That'll be Charlie coming back from the Go-Getters. You hear him practically running to come find you, and he's grinning from ear to ear when he finally does. I have some really big news. You and Sam play along, sitting attentive with bated breath. Really? Charlie asks, as you both nod enthusiastically. With a flourish, he reveals a new badge from his pocket and proudly presents it to both of you to examine. As he announced, as of today, I'm a member of the first year of the Cohesion Cadets. There are many more stuff that I'm going to be doing, and I'll be working some weekends, but it's pretty cool. Sam congratulates Charlie. He can't help but frown. This seems like a big step. You and Sam grin at your son. You're happy that he's happy and doing well. I'm happy. I'm happy for him. Even if it is a stupid socialist government, I'm glad that my kid's doing something with his life, you know? A sign of things to come. Shopping, something that always seemed so tedious before the sanctions, has become more of a chore now. You managed to get almost everything you needed for the family this evening, but you have to come back tomorrow to get through the week. There's a queue to leave the car park, though it's hard to make out why in the dark. Hopefully whatever's causing it won't be too long. As the final car in front of you drives off, you realize the queue is actually due to a checkpoint set up in the exit. A friendly-looking man with an advanced uniform, CCO, emblazoned in a number of places on it, broaches your car and knocks on the driver's side window. You roll it down. Good evening. Nothing to worry about. I was just wondering if I could see your team membership card, please. Didn't Sam sign you both up for ones a few years back? You rummage in the glove box and eventually produce your card. Yep, that's all great, thanks. Don't forget to keep an eye out for the new team lottery starting up soon. Loads of great benefits to be won. You have a nice day now. The man smiles as he pats the bonnet of your car and waves you off. Free prizes just for having the card? Fantastic. So these cards are mandatory now? Yeah, I know, right? Jesus, that's how it's getting in the industry. An invitation worth ignoring? It's a Saturday, one of your few days off, and you've made the most of it. But as late afternoon draws on, the invitation sits planned to the fridge, staring accusingly at you. The Channel 1 Gala is a mandatory work event. Bozeman was very quick to tell you. Also, you don't dare be late. You've already skipped a work week on ones. You can't do it again. Best go. You can live another note from Bozeman if you keep your Saturday night. Sure, we'll go. Best kids start getting ready. You wonder if Sam will give you a lift. A drink or two might help with the enforced office socializing. Hopefully it won't be too bad. After all, you're pretty good at your job, right? Yeah, right. National News Night. You arrive on time, barely, at the Suaven, one of the oldest, grandest hotels in the capital. You're surprised to see a queue to get in, and quickly realize it's because people are being searched by the door by some very military-looking personnel in smart attire. While you're waiting, you can't help but notice how very opulent the building is. It's possibly the fanciest place you've been to in all your life. You submit to be patting down and with a sigh of relief are left into the hotel. Once inside, you are directed into the grand ballroom, and following the signs you marvel at the sheer scale of the place. The amount of armed security guards. When you finally arrive, a very severe-looking woman at the door asks for your name. I'm Alex Winston. She curtly checks her list before whispering something to the waiter before her. You've made it just in time to be seated before dinner. Please follow a manual here to your table. The waiter smiles at you and opens the great double doors, gesturing you to enter. Immediately, you can see why it's called the Grand Ballroom. You pause for a second to take it all in. You feel a slight tap on your arm and Emmanuel gestures for you to follow him. He sits you at a table in the central floor area with a decent view of the stage. Clearly, you're in Bozeman's good books at the moment. You're sat with some colleagues you've been around the Channel 1 offices before, but you don't know that well. One of them informs you, far too excitingly, it's very corporate evening of awards and speeches. At least some food should be good. Dinner is indeed lovely. With the help of the no doubt very expensive wine, conversation flows easily enough. In fact, much to your surprise, you're actually presented with the award for Best Newcomer to the Channel 1 family. Well, that was unexpected. As you walk in to collect it, you recognize the presenter as Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey of Incisors fame. He thanks Advance for sponsoring this year's gala before specifically thanking Prime Minister Jules Salisbury and Peter Clement for being in attendance tonight. As you take to the stage, you can see the frontmost central table door does indeed seat the Prime Ministers, as well as Bozeman, Meghan, and some other very well-to-do types you don't recognize. That explains all the security. As you're handed an award, Dr. Atkinson Blimey asks if you'd like to say a few words. You're a little nervous and splutter out some quick praise for Advance to Channel 1. You make a joke thanking Dave for fleeing the country and leaving you his job. Quick praise. As you thank Advance, applause breaks out of the room. Both Peter and Julia stand up to magnanimously accept it before saying the night's not about them, but thanks you all the same. As you head back to your seat, you see Bozeman nodding at you with a satisfied smile on his flushed face. Clearly, that was the right speech. Just as you're finishing up dinner, one of the other people at your table points behind you. As you see Bozeman walking briskly past with Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement in tow, you're pretty sure he was pointedly ignoring you. He seems to be introducing the prime ministers to a selection of people at different tables. Better them than you. You finish up the rest of the meal, listen to the last few speeches, and then head home. All in all, it was a surprisingly nice evening. You might actually look forward to the next one, providing Bozeman invites you to that one, of course. Loading screens can be skipped by inventing a time machine. That's funny. Alright guys, well that's going to have to be it for today. My name is LaserFighter111. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe to this video for more awesome content, and I will see you guys later.